Keeping all of your money in a bank account may not be the most effective choice of action for maintaining and growing your wealth in this era, an age of low bank interest rates and unpredictable economic events. The phrase, "cash is king," is no longer entirely true. Instead, more robust and dynamic financial planning is in play. The secret to long-term financial stability is often not in a bank vault, but rather in a diverse portfolio of investments that have higher potential returns and greater security than traditional cash deposits. Hello, savvy investors! In today's video, we're diving into the world of smart financial moves. If you've been stashing your cash in the bank and wondering if there are better options out there, you're in the right place. Join us as we explore 6 assets that not only provide safety, but also have the potential to grow your wealth. Let's kick traditional banking to the curb and embrace a more prosperous financial future. For a very long time, investors have seen precious metals as a safe haven, particularly during periods of high inflation and economic turmoil. In contrast to fiat currencies, which can lose value due to overproduction, metals such as gold, silver, and platinum are rare and have intrinsic worth. Purchasing these metals physically is one way to invest in them, but it's also easier to use gold ETFs, which track the price of gold without requiring physical storage. Are precious metals a good investment for you? Precious metals provide a special kind of inflation protection. They cannot be inflated, have inherent worth, and pose no credit risk. Thus, you are unable to print more of them. Additionally, they provide real protection against economic, political, or military crises. Precious metals also provide a low or negative correlation to other asset classes, such as equities and bonds from the perspective of investing theory. This implies that adding even a tiny amount of precious metals to a portfolio will lower risk and volatility. Primary agricultural products and raw materials utilized in the manufacturing of goods and services are referred to as industrial commodities. These goods are necessary inputs for many different sectors and are important to economic operations. The 2 primary categories of industrial commodities are metals and non-metals. Commonly utilized metals, including copper, aluminum, zinc, and nickel, are considered base metals. They are necessary for the development of infrastructure, building, and industrial processes. Metals such as palladium, platinum, silver, and gold fall under this group. Since precious metals have special qualities, they are frequently utilized for jewelry, investments, and some industrial uses. The essential energy resources that drive a variety of businesses, such as manufacturing, transportation, and electricity generation. Commodities classified as agricultural include wheat, corn, soybeans, cotton, and sugar. These goods are utilized as raw materials by the food and beverage sector, as well as by the textile and biofuel sectors. Commodity exchanges handle the trading of industrial commodities, and several variables impact their pricing, including changes in the economy, geopolitical events, supply and demand dynamics, and technical improvements. Global economies and sectors may be significantly impacted by changes in the prices of certain commodities. Consequently, companies and investors keep a careful eye on commodities markets in order to make well-informed decisions on investment, production, and risk management. A parcel of land with any attached or additional natural or artificial, man-made improvements is all that constitutes real estate. The area has natural attachments, such as water, oil, plants, and precious mineral resources. Built-up areas consist of fences, walkways, and buildings. The 2 main types of real estate are residential and commercial. Property designated for human residence by one or more families is known as residential real estate. Although real estate can be owned or rented, the phrase residential real estate often refers to leased space. The purpose and emphasis of commercial real estate is business. These types of properties include restaurants, retail centers, office buildings, and other similar establishments. Commercial real estate can be rented or owned by the owner. Whether the owner plans to utilize the property, real estate is frequently bought as an investment in areas where the cost of land and buildings is growing. Investment homes are frequently rented out, but flipping refers to the speedy resale of a property, sometimes in response to arbitrage or rapidly increasing value, and other times following significant repairs that increase the property's worth. Sometimes, especially for affluent foreigners, luxury real estate is held in reserve without any specific attempt to rent it out. Certain opulent residences in London and New York City have served as a means for dishonest foreign public servants and businessmen from nations without robust legal systems to conceal or safeguard funds from being seized. An object that, due to its rarity or appeal, is worth far more than it was originally sold for is referred to as a collectible. The cost of a certain collection often varies depending on the quantity and general condition of the item. Coins, stamps, toys, comic books, antiques are examples of common collection categories. Collectibles are time-consuming to gather and are often kept in places where they won't be damaged by weather. Understanding collectibles. Collectibles, as previously said, are things that often bring in a higher price than its initial value. If a collectible is uncommon, it might fetch a high price. A collectible's price is highly influenced by its state as well. A collectible in excellent condition will likely increase in value. However, there's a considerable possibility it won't be worth much, if anything, if it has deteriorated over time. Contrary to what marketers would have you believe, collectibles aren't as prevalent or a wise investment. In the case that the product is still being produced, the business finally recognizes the market signal and increases production to meet demand. A mutual fund is a type of investment where a number of people's contributions are combined to purchase a range of stocks, bonds, and other assets. A qualified money manager oversees this combination of investments, giving investors a portfolio that is designed to align with the investment goals specified in the fund's prospectus. Compared to buying a single stock or bond, investing in a mutual fund gives people access to a wide variety of assets, which can help lower risk. The performance of the fund, less any fees or charges, determines the returns that investors get. Small and individual investors can have access to professionally managed portfolios of stocks, bonds, and other asset classes through mutual funds. A single mutual fund may expose you to hundreds of stocks, bonds, and other investments. Mutual funds offer a comparatively hands-off method to invest in several assets at once. Mutual funds are well liked by investors who wish to take advantage of the historically high average yearly returns of the stock market without having to choose individual assets themselves. A currency that is predicted to hold or gain value during times of market volatility is known as a safe haven currency. Investors typically go for safe haven currencies as a kind of financial protection when there is a lot of geopolitical or economic uncertainty. These currencies are a dependable store of value, since they are usually issued by nations that are stable and economically strong. Countries with safe haven currencies tend to be politically and economically stable. Currency issued by countries with solid institutions, minimal inflation, and a track record of economic stability is preferred by investors. The currencies that are considered safe havens are often quite liquid, meaning that buying or selling them in the foreign exchange market does not substantially affect their value. A high level of liquidity gives investors flexibility and enables them to move swiftly into or out of positions. The Swiss franc, the Japanese yen, and the US dollar are a few examples of safe haven currencies. As we wrap up, remember that holding on to cash might not be the wisest choice in today's dynamic financial landscape. Explore these 6 alternatives to traditional banking and find the right combination that aligns with your financial goals and risk tolerance. Don't let your money sit idly. Make it work for you and pave the way for a more secure and prosperous financial future. Thanks for tuning in, and until next time, happy investing.